Hello, fellow seekers, and those of you interested in tarot. We are at the final stretch of the 21 cards of the majors, and today it's all about the 20, which is the Judgment card. And I think maybe a lot of people don't understand this card, perhaps because of the word judgment. I think in the Rider-Waite deck, that word throws people off. But let me explain it to you, and it might make some sense for those of you who have had trouble with that word. That card is really about awakening. We are at this final stage, right? The third level of understanding in our lives. So if we are following the major cards in a linear fashion in terms of what we're learning as humans, we're pretty developed at this point in time with a 20, right? Our consciousness, I should say, is developed. Our humanity is developed. And so we are aware of our lives, other people's lives, the pitfalls. We are awake. And judgment, that word really is such a powerful word, because when we are truly awake, we understand how we sit in judgment, and we're able to judge in a fair way. It's not about, I think we associate that word judgment in a negative way, and it can be used in a negative way, but the power of being able to discern is an amazing awakened state, right? When we are in our truth and we can truly discern what's going on, that's being awake. And it leads to compassion. That's why this is a card that speaks to awakenness and compassion. I do want to read you a little bit about what I wrote about this card. It might make a little bit more sense. This Judgment card implies completion, decision, termination. We are in the final state of personal consciousness, right? And so here we've torn down the limitations of form. We have killed the false personality and its sense of separateness. So we are called to resurrect our lives. And the Judgment card has to do with us being aware that our actions produce our rewards and punishments. This is what I'm talking about. It's about consciousness. We are able to judge more effectively what's going on with ourselves because we can see it so much clearer, right? I wrote that in Buddhism, this concept is mixed with a moral notion and has come to be referred to acts of good and bad, the results of positive, negative fruits. Again, maybe I'm just repeating myself, but this kind of understanding about where we sit in the value of our lives, right? It's where we understand now that where the attention goes, the energy flows, right? I wanted to read something else here. We understand now, too, that all is valid in life. None of it is, there are no illusions anymore. It's everything that we've come up against, the good, the bad, the struggles, that everything that we know is part and parcel to our lives. And that through that walk, we understand how huge love is, love for ourselves, love for others, because we are no longer in this false way of seeing the world based on our limited perceptions, right? We've opened up to a world of understanding, to the awareness of life, and that comes without judgment. We are just able to discern, that might be a better word for some of us, in a deep understanding about what life is about, right? And that means that we are at a point of true acceptance and true love, right? Because love exists in the truth of everything, right? And so this card really, the Judgment card, is huge. And I have often, when it comes up in people's readings, I often notice that they are so aware of what's going on in their lives at that moment, that this card really can be something that helps to validate where someone's life is in the moment, that can really help that person to know that they're in the right way, in the right time, in the right, method for their lives, using that word right loosely. But I think you get my point that things are working as they need to be. All right, if you have any comments about this card in particular, anything else that has happened up to this point in terms of all the major cards, feel free to put it in the comments. I'd love hearing from you. Thank you to those of you who have thanked me for offering this walk of tarot. Next week, we are going to be at the last card, and I look forward to sharing that with you. Until then.